Hello, welcome to the Spiritualist Circle of Light. This is our dream class, and we are still talking about Nigel Hamilton's Awakening Through Dreams, the journey through the inner landscape. Now, the inner landscape is it's, yeah, it's within. It's what we've got going on in our heads, but it's not a single reality. See, our external reality is the common reality. And it's the common reality because we all agree to it. We all agree that this is a container. We agree that it's cylindrical. We agree that it can be used as a water bottle. It's the common reality. We're all in agreement with it. This is a comb. You know, we're all in agreement with it because we all participate in it and we have to have reference points. But the inner reality is dramatically different because we've got the inner dialogue that continues to go round and round and round. This is some people call it the voice in our head. Uh, Others will call it the critic. I like to call it the life coach. But, we've got that dialogue going on in our head continuously. When we sleep, we have the dream reality. There's another reality. And then we've got, when we meditate, we go into a discrete, altered state of consciousness, which is another reality. Typically, we call these dimensions, higher dimensions, lower dimensions, but they're not. They're varying degrees of the same reality, because this we are what unifies the common reality, the uh, dream reality, the inner dialogue. We unify all of that. We are the common denominator in all of this. So let's look at some of this other stuff that's going on. Now, I'm going to tell you, the best way to describe this inner reality that we've got going on with us is I don't know, not all of you may remember this, but when I grew up, Warner Brothers cartoons, Looney Tunes was a big thing, and they've got different versions of it. You've got an angel on one shoulder, you've got a little devil on the other shoulder, and they go back and forth, egging you on to do something nice, to do something a little devilish, a little naughty. But this is an illustration of the dialogue that goes on within ourselves. This is the inner dialogue going on. This is the inner critic. This is the inner coach. Different dialogues going on, different voices. When we communicate with those in life's other rooms, again, another voice, another reality. When we meet other people for dinner, date, or whatever, you know, we have two realities that impinge upon each other. We've got the common reality, and then we've got my reality and my guest's reality that impinge upon each other. They merge briefly. So you've got these different realities. You get these different qualities of realities going on. And our dreams, according to the way Hamilton interprets them, reflects a lot of these patterns that are going on, whether these patterns are external, going on out here, or internal, going on in here. But we've got these different patterns, and our dreams sometimes reveals these patterns. And just to give you an example, just the other night, I had this dream where I was working at the shop. Now I'm on disability, so I'm no longer in the workforce. I'm here teaching you, talking to you about dreams, adding to your reservoir of knowledge. But when I worked, that was where I did more than just generate an income there. It was part of my social network. And it's where I developed my work ethics, which makes sense. You develop work ethics when you go to work. So in this dream, I'm back to work. I'm at the shop, and I was an assembler there. So in the dream, I've got this cart, I've got parts pulled, I've got work orders pulled, I've got blueprints laying in front of me, and I'm doing these pre-assemblies for inventory. Well, the dream is part of a pattern. I have, I'm part of the Independent Spiritualist Association, and I've been asked to head up the education, or rather, I should say, an education committee, because I'm not the education trustee. And I was given a new job. Before, I was the bylaws chairperson with the bylaws committee, reshaping the bylaws for the association. That job is done. Now I am starting a new job. And that's what the dream was telling me, was that I was starting a new job. And this job was going to involve doing some pre-assemblies. And what I've been asked to do is to form a committee and develop a curriculum that takes a person from becoming a spiritualist, the first level of entry, the entry level, the entry level into the association, and create a pathway all the way up to ordination. So as part of that, I've got these little packages to develop, these little pre-assemblies, and that's what I've been asked to do. And that's what the dream was showing me as well. Here's this pattern. I see these things as work. This is my work now. And that's a pattern that has revealed itself. It's not really a repetitious dream, but the pattern. One person in one of my classes called it a theme. So it's a repetitious theme. When I'm starting a new job, I associate it with what I'm familiar with when I was working. And along with that, they reveal these patterns that we go through in our lives. And our life moves through patterns. We progress and then we decline, and then we progress, and it's like the phases of the moon. I believe we may have even talked about this. The moon, it waxes towards the full moon while waning from the new moon, and then it reaches the full moon maturation, and then it wanes from the full moon, waxing towards the new moon. These are our patterns: growth, maturity, and then decay and death, and then it starts again. And you've got the reverse process down here. If you've got a horizon line and you're calling everything up here positive and everything down here negative, it's all part of a cycle. It doesn't mean this is better than this. It's just part of the cycle, part of the pattern. And sometimes in these patterns, we may appear to be digressing along our path. So it's like Mercury or Mars in retrograde. They're still moving forward, but they appear to move backwards. And that's part of the pattern. So we've got these spurts that we go through. We hit a plateau and then we slide down, patterns. This is what our dreams reveal. And Sometimes with our dreams, we'll also reveal flaws in our thinking. For instance, I shared this in our last class with a dream I had had where I was the babysitter and the mother was flailing about, yelling at me and everything. And then I woke up from the dream. I was upset, but I was upset about the wrong thing, a flaw in my thinking. It also suggests, it can also reveal barriers or challenges that we are facing. One of the ones, let me see here, doesn't come to mind, but I don't recall the dream. All right. But when the pandemic began and we were sent to our rooms per se in March and told to stay there, well, there's this barrier that I was beginning to experience because human contact was not there. There was no conversation. There was no mingling. We're social creatures, meaning we require social contact, and then that was gone all of a sudden. So there's that challenge, that reveals challenges, nuances, and they also can offer insight as to where our focus is at. Um, Nothing comes to mind with something that I've experienced recently that I can recall, but you know, dreams reveal these things that are going on with us in the common reality and the inner reality. And if you look at some of your dreams, your previous dreams, if you remember any of them, you can see where the clues are at, and they will tell you where you are at on your journey. Now, Hamilton introduces something interesting with dreams. He suggests they're like an alchemical process. Now, alchemy is all about refinement. You read about this stuff where they're trying to take base metals and turn it into gold. In order to do that, they are refining the material. They have to refine it. And that's what Hamilton is talking about when he refers to dreams as a form of refinement, as a form of a process of refining. And he uses alchemical terms with this. For instance, the process of refinement of our, when we go on our spiritual journey, it's all about learning about us, who we are, refining and everything, discovering and such. Well, the process begins with Nagreto, also known as the black stage. Now, this is not something that's negative or bad or anything like that. Black represents the unknown, the mystery. When we consciously embark on our spiritual journey, we're in a position of mystery. We don't know anything. And we have to purge ourselves of everything we think we know. So it's the black stage because it is the mystery. We don't know anything beyond what we know. And then we move into what is called the albedo stage or the white stage, or it's better known as, or rather, I should say, it's better termed as the light stage, because here we're able to see. We're delving into this mystery, and we are shining a light on what we don't know, what lies in front of us. And discovering what lies in front of us is pretty much the same thing that lies behind us. And then we move into, now I'm sure I'm getting all these pronunciations hosed up anyway, so I'm going to to continue with my mispronunciations, the third stage is the sitinitas, or the truth body stage. And this is where we discover ourselves. This is where we get to know who we are. By the ancient Egyptian standard, we are talking about the soul, because the soul represents our essence. It's our personality. It's that part of us that grows, that learns, that shines, that needs to be polished. It's that part. And when we go through this, when we start to learn who we are, then we begin to learn about what Jung has called this collective consciousness that's around us, or if you prefer, the divine conscious that's around us. And these are experienced through what some would call transcendental experiences, where suddenly you feel as though a great revelation has taken place. And it's not necessarily, typically we have these experiences in meditation. And I can give you an example of this. One of a dream that I experienced a while ago when I was putting together the Facets of Healing book. I was shown all these colors moving about, but they weren't drifting about aimlessly, as even though they appeared that way. They were subtly being arranged. And I was being shown how everything is formed through energy. And it's not just single pieces of energy. When you look at this receipt here, we've got the white background here. We've got the black here. These are two energies here, two separate energies. And then you've got the solid format here, which is another compression of energies. And that's what I was being shown in this dream, that everything is a compression of energies into resonant fields. So this is an example of what a truth body dream would be. A satinitas dream would be, that transcendental experience. And then we have the rubeto stage, which is known as the descent of conscious, as it returns to the realm of sensuality, or as we begin to awake. Now, this doesn't mean that we are suddenly, we're going back to the way we were. No, that's not what it means. It means that we are taking what we absorbed. I'm taking what I learned with these colors, with the idea of energy being compressed and forming resonant fields. I'm taking all of that and I'm applying it. And the way I applied this was to teach people to use inanimate objects such as the bowl here, and to feel this electromagnetic field. There it is, right there. It's an electromagnetic field, or the EM field. Everything generates it. The difference between the field of the bowl and my field is my field will fluctuate, where the field of the bowl will not fluctuate. And I taught this to people. You can do this too. Select an object, a crystal. This happened. This was handy, and just bring your hand gently to it, and you'll feel that resistance. And that's where you want to stop. That's the EM field. And that EM field is what records everything. Now, this is similar to psychometry if you've ever done that, but psychometry is reading the object. But we are going up to the field here, and we are going to rest in that. Now, this isn't a class about that, but this is what I taught people. And the idea was to experience the exchange of information, because information flows both ways. It doesn't flow just one way. So that's what this field is. It's the ability to take what we've learned and to apply it. That's what the stage is. And then we move back to the Negreto. So to give you an idea of this, think of it as Negreto and Alberto as initiatory stages. These are the stages we go through upon our path. We are just beginning. We're not really purging, but we're discovering what needs, whether we need to get rid of something or we want to keep it. We enter the next stage. It's still an initiatory stage because it's here that we see, where we see what it is that is before us. We see, we're no longer discovering, we see it, we've got it. And then we move into, one is intent, negreto, and the other is the application. Oh, I'm sorry, I get this backwards. I'm looking at my notes and I got it all screwed up here. No, we've got the negreto and the albedo stages here. These are the initiatory stages. This is before intent. And then we move into the satanitas stage, the truth body stage. And this is the application of our intent. And then we move into the experiential stage where we discover. And then we move into the wisdom stage. And this is where we apply it. This is where we apply it. The intent, negreto, the application of our intention, albeto, the experiential, satinitas, and then rubeto, the wisdom, where we pull it all together. This is what Hamilton is suggesting. So now when we go through, when we have our dreaming experience, we don't necessarily experience all of these stages in order, because most of the time our dreams are not in order. They're kind of all over the place. Well, not really all over the place. They have a theme that they follow, but the images that they provide are sometimes unrelated. The dream I used in our last class, where I was massaging a woman's behind, and then from there we went into a library doing research about a neural net. Okay, same theme here, but the images are unrelated. One may imply a sexual overtone or undertone. The other is something is intellectual. So if you look at them separately, you get separate messages. But when you bring them together, behind on your research, here is the stages there. So we're going to look at some items here, some images of how to interpret dreams. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is that interpreting dreams, a lot of you can use cliches, because cliches are they're word pictures. They have 1,000 words there. What we have here is a shotgun, obviously, gun, is the category that we're going to be discussing. So guns typically represent family. Now, the way we get to this is think of a cliche that involves guns. We go take another look at the shotgun here and think, what cliche about family is tied to a shotgun? You may have seen this in a cartoon. Here we go back to the Looney Tunes again. Shotgun wedding. That's what connects the gun to the family. That's the cliche, is a shotgun wedding. Guns typically represent family. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean violence or anything like that. It just means it's family related. So here's another image. What's the cliche with this? Now, I want you to focus on the smoke. What's the cliche with this? It's a smoking gun. So when we see that, the cliche is and I've got the smoking gun. This is the weapon used, a discovery, the smoking gun, the clincher. There's a lot of ways you can interpret that, but that's what it is. It's the cliches, the smoking gun. So let's take a look at another one, see what we've got here. Okay, so what might this one be? Think of a cliche that this one would be. It's guns are about family. And we've got the barrel. The barrel is twisted. Your family's twisted, dude. Sick, dysfunctional. The gun itself is not able to function because the barrel is twisted into a knot. So, dysfunction, non functional, twisted, different things going on there. Now, with knives will typically represent, I'm not going to tell you, think about the cliche. Think about the cliche with a knife. What is it that people do with knives? They stab people. So, what comes to mind? A backstabber, someone you can't trust. So, this is where it comes in. Cliches help us in a lot of ways. If you would like a dream interpreted, please contact us through Messenger, through our Facebook page. You can send us a message. We usually look at them, we're checking, we monitor it. We've done dreams for people across the globe. If you would like yours interpreted, or if you would like to a different opinion on it, go ahead and contact us through Messenger. You could also send us an email, spiritualist circle of light at gmail.com. You could also contact us through our website as well. So, and I want to thank you for visiting us. It's always a pleasure to work with you, to assist you. Please join us. We have a Saturday evening service via Zoom. You can go to our website for details. Again, birdandsky.com. We meet at 7. You can also check out our events to see what we have going on for times. I also serve at the Spiritual First Church of Prayer on Sunday mornings at 10. You can find information for log on. That's through Zoom. You can get your log on information through the same website, birdandsky.com. The log on is going to be the same as it is for the Spiritualist Circle of Light. If you would like a reading, a message, please feel free to contact us. We've given you the information, messenger, email. It's all at our website or at our Facebook page. We also do readings. If you found any of this helpful, if you found it of value, please feel free to donate. Donate through our website. Again, birdandsky.com. You can click on any of the donate buttons. Also, we have attached a QR code to the video so you can hit pause and scan it with your smartphone. I don't know if how well this works in this fashion. You can let me know, but please, if you find this of value, please leave some seeds with us so we can spread those seeds around. There are places where we get our images from on our video material as well as our music material for our meditations. We have guided meditations available at both the website and the Facebook page. They've donated their stuff, and we would like to leave seeds with them. So as you leave seeds with us, we leave seeds with others. Again, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for allowing me to share.